Last week I missed posting an EPX video. Now, I'm still working on it, but life's kind of just really busy right now. However, I probably would have missed this week as well, but there was a recent announcement, and while I don't really care that much about the most recent cycling announcements, most of the tech is pretty pedestrian. This one was a bit nearer and dearer to me. Some people know that I worked at Campagnolo in Italy for a few years. And while a few cycling outlets covered some of the patents, they didn't really cover everything. And the focus was really on, can we truly integrate or embed all sorts of different sensors into carbon fiber? Now, to date, nobody has actually really seemed to have followed in my footsteps. And with the recent announcement, that actually means Campagnolo as well. My work revolved around the term true integration, truly integrating the technology that would be related to torque sensing and the design of the crank on the other hand. And this involved a lot of different areas, but the way I understood it is anyone can take a hunk of metal or even carbon fiber, put some strain gauges on it, connect it to a circuit board, some firmware later, put a housing, glue it down. There you've got, a power meter. But it's not integrated. It was an afterthought. And what was impressed upon me was the need for true integration, the idea that these two things have to be designed as one, such that the difference between the non-power meter and the power meter version would have been the same, or whatever we were looking at lots of areas to put strain gauges and inertial sensors and all sorts of stuff into. It's funny how things change. As a result of that forged composite technology, nothing likes to survive under that immense pressure during the molding process. And it made things very difficult. So most of my work for at least the first half of my time there was not so much product development, such as seeing if this is possible and improving survivability. And well, eventually we got methods down that sort of worked. They certainly needed a refinement for the manufacturing process, but we could legitimately build prototypes and know that a good amount of them would function at the other end. Unfortunately, there was a strong focus on patents, but there was a strong focus on patents on filing, but also on making sure that you are outside of everyone else's patents, more so than I have seen in any other company, and such that I spent a lot of time pushing back on applications, on patent applications that were not granted patents. So there was a lot of bureaucratic nature in an Italian company. Last week I saw that Campagnolo had announced a power meter, and when I went and I looked at it, I saw that it beared no resemblance to anything that I worked on. And I've got to say, I was pretty disappointed with that. But upon finding out that the only place that has reviewed it and aren't experienced with reviewing these things, and it still didn't perform within the specs for an inexperienced technology reviewer, like someone who's not well versed in the intricacies of power meters, I felt doubly bad. After I left, I started up my company, Titan Lab, consulting to various different things in the industry. And I started with nothing. I reset to zero, basically. And I've had to build up quite a lot and worked quite hard. And over that time, I consistently reached out and offered help and support and consulting and even just free advice. And very little of it was availed, and most of it ended up, just not working out in a bit of a mess. So obviously I'm sad and I'm disappointed at this announcement. I'm sad that they've completely shifted directions against what I was told every single day. And I'm disappointed that it works worse than the no-name Chinese spiders that you can buy on AliExpress. People have asked me a lot over the years, what's it like working in your dream job? Oh, you get to work in sports and with bikes, and then you test what you're building. And, you know, I used to really believe in dream jobs, and that's been beaten out of me. It's been many hard years of learning that there's no such thing as a dream job. There's not even a such thing as a dream company in terms of the outward facade. It's basically marketing and a handful of ideology that doesn't represent the culture that exists inside. Just because you're a fan of a product doesn't mean it's a great engineering environment to work in. They could, one company was termed such and such distortion field for basically beating up on engineers. People revere said company. I did learn, though, more recently that there can exist dream teams and good company culture. And hiring one guy to come in and then try and innovate, well, it's not going to do anything unless everyone's on board. And everyone needs to be on board by driving proper company culture that drives innovation and drives supporting each other. And that's really all I have to say about that. I'm not going to pull any punches. A torque cell, it's a simple torque cell. These are not complicated. They are not hard. Every single power meter version of a spider is basically a copy of Quark's design using shear gauges. I mean, it's not hard to get this right. You can go on AliExpress and for 1/5 the price, get a spider shipped from China that has actually been tested by a bunch of people, namely like Shane Miller, GP Llama has tested some of these, and they're better. I don't know how you mess up a spider-based power meter at this point. I mean, about an hour of CAD work, I can have it machined in China for $50. I can have it come back here, do the gauging in an hour and a half, and just reuse a bunch of my firmware. And in 5 hours of effort, I have a functional, accurate spider. I don't know how you mess this up. But I also don't really know how you mess up the review process. Like, it is obvious. There are 2 people you go to give them your beta power meters, for them to help you debug. And they, as painful as power meter testing are, I've talked fairly regularly with these guys over the years, and they are more than willing to help. They just want to see everyone succeed and create a more competitive landscape. And you didn't send them one? Like, maybe you did. I haven't asked them, but like, they should be the first reviews. Everyone should be gated against those 2 reviewers. Maybe give them the head start so that you actually have real life data feedback of someone who's super experienced in testing this. I just don't get it. I really, really don't get how you mess up a spider and you mess up who to send it to for reviews. I don't get it. So, I don't know. Maybe they've already fixed these problems. Maybe the right reviewers already have these things, but I kind of doubt. At this point, you need someone experienced to fix problems like this. And a spider is going to be the simplest thing out there. And well, if you want 15 minutes of time, here's my offer. I've spent years trying to reach out and support you guys after leaving. I'm not going to reach out again, but if you happen to see this video and you think you want some support, you can certainly have 15 minutes or an hour of my time to help you figure it out for free. I know you have my email of all the times I've reached out. I'm just not going to do it anymore. You got to reach out to me. And if you don't, great. I wish you all the best and hope that you do get everything in the right hands and the right people to figure out what problems that you're encountering. Nobody probably learned anything this week, so, well, the best I could do is offer up, I don't know, 75 internet points as a thanks for watching.